Download the pattern that you require. There are 5 sizes altogether. The size I'm doing is just a normal adult size, which is the 4, the number 4 one. You need to cut 2 pieces of each, 2 pieces for the lining, 2 pieces for the outer, and 2 pieces for the pocket. To make the pocket, I folded the pattern along the line and cut a narrower version of the pattern. Once they've been cut, you need to sew down the middle using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you need to fold over the ends of the pocket lining, fold it over twice and stitch along the edge. Okay, once it's stitched, it should give a nice neat finish. Then ensure that the tops, the pointy bits, are at the top, and place the pocket right sides together with the outer fabric, matching the center line. And to avoid too much bulk at the top, I get one seam going one way and the other going in the other direction. Then it's pinned carefully along the edge. To make sure that it stays in position. So I put a pin on the 2 edges of the pocket lining. And then I take the lining piece and I place it on top of the pocket. Again, I make sure that the seam is turned in a slightly different direction to the outer to give a narrower, flatter finish. Okay, then I pin that on, and it's going to go all the way around. Do the same with the bottom. You pin it all well in place to make sure that all 3 pieces of fabric stay together and they do not move when they are sewn together. Once it's been pinned, make sure that there is a gap left between 1.5 inches to 2 inches on the one side to turn it over. Then take it over to the machine. Back stitch at the beginning of the gap and sew along a seam of just under 1/2 inch all the way around until you get to the other end of the gap. Okay, then to avoid it being too bulky around the edges, trim the excess fabric. Go all the way around. Do not trim the turning part because we will need that excess to turn it round and create a nice neat finish. Okay, next turn it the right way around. It's a good idea to find the other edge, the other end, and pull it through. This is the quickest way of doing it. When it's all out, take something pointy. In this case I'm using my big knitting needle and push out all the corners. Okay, fold the open pieces together and turn the end over about 1/2 inch. And sew along the edge, so very close to the edge. Backstitch at the beginning and at the end. Okay, so now the two edges are sewn in. That gives us a gap for the elastic channel. Next we're going to overstitch the top and bottom to make sure that the seam is flat. I usually pin it all the way around just to hold it all together. But at the beginning and at the end of the elastic channel, I make sure that I put a pin to remind me not to go across and close it up, so it needs to remain open for the elastic to go through. Okay, so I need about 1/8 of an inch, so back stitch, and so to the other stitching line of the channel, don't go across, and back stitch. Again, I usually put a pin there to remind me not to go across. Cut off the loose threads. And do the same thing with the bottom edge. Again, put a pin at the beginning and at the end to remind, as a reminder, not to sew across. I have done that before and had to unstitch and unpick. Again, back stitch at the beginning, and back stitch at the end again, right to the pin, take the pin out. Okay, to create the channel for the nose strip, I measure around 2 inches from the center line and put a pin, and I fold it over and place a pin on the other side to give me my mark line. And then from the edge of the mask, I sew about 1/2 inch away from there. So I move my needle right across and follow the line of the mask, the curve of the line, the curve of the mask, sorry, and stitch from one pin to the other, back stitching as I go, as I get to the end. And that gives me my channel for the nose strip. Optional, You can leave it without. Okay, the mask is now done. Just tie up, cut off the loose threads. There's your pocket to put an extra filter if need be. Use your metal strip, put through, make sure you find the channel for it to go through. So that's gone through now. Okay, and the nose strip is there to create a nice secure top. Thread in the elastic. I use 2 pieces of 7 inches each, around 7 inches, I think is about long enough. That's it, done. Nice and neat. Okay, thank you for watching.